I was in a men's room at CCBC right after the evening service. A group of teenage boys was also there in the room. They were quite rowdy and unruly, but one of them, obviously the leader, approached me and introduced the boys to me. He also thanked me for the sermon I just preached. He even made a run-through of the three-point outline of the message. He adds that the group of boys are his neighbors. He is teaching them to know Christ and to follow him. He believes that the gospel of Christ would bring them changed lives. It was the first time for some of them to worship at CCBC. I am so happy to see this young man living out the CCBC DNA. And what is that? Every CCBCer is a disciple maker, and ministry happens wherever CCBCers are. By the way, DNA stands for Discipling Nations Aptitude. This will be the beginning of CCBC's story through 2029. Disciple making happens in small group communities called life groups. There, people are connected to Christ so that they may believe in him. And then they are taught to conform to Christ so that they may grow. Eventually, they will be built up in Christ so that they can serve and make disciples of others. And later on, they can be commissioned for leadership and missions as they will be sent out to where the Lord brings them. In the next decade, we want to see healthy life groups rapidly multiplying. That young life group leader will eventually be a seasoned disciple maker who could mentor, train, coach, and multiply spiritual leaders like him. CCBC will always be a seedbed for spiritual leaders. They will be the type of leaders who will make a difference in their homes, their neighborhood, in the marketplace, among the least reached peoples, in the nation, and in other nations. They become God's change agent. They will be making an impact in various sectors of society by channeling God's love and grace through evangelism, teaching the word, and building up people in the ways of God. The life groups formed will join together regularly for worship and mutual encouragement. They will be the core members of a daughter church that would replicate the CCBC DNA in another part of the metro, or in another city in the Philippines, or in another country. These churches will be safe places for healing and restoration. There are many people, couples, and families suffering from the brokenness caused by sin. We see CCBC as God's instrument to bring wholeness and healing in Christ Jesus. We see CCBCers responding to the call to be in the ministry of healing and restoration. CCBC facilities would also be a counseling center where people will find hope and help for their lives broken by sin. So we envision adequately equipped facilities that are accessible and conducive to do effective ministry, and a place where we can honor Jesus Christ, who is the head of the church. CCBC's story begins with you connecting to Christ and grow to be a blessing to the community around you. This will be our story.